Hello, my name is Sofia and this is an audio version of my blog entry entitled How to Geolocate Remote Villages in Afghanistan Using Reference Maps, originally published in December 2022. Introduction. Occasionally, you will come across videos that will tell you exactly where they were filmed. You'll get excited thinking that geolocating it will be extremely fast and easy. You jump to Google Maps, write the name of the village and nothing. Google has no idea what you mean. You try another similar word, maybe another one. Nope, not happening. Fine, you can start with the province, move to the district and just find the village. Sorry, Google Maps can tell you the province, but then you're on your own. It has no idea where the district is located within that province, and even if it did, the name you have does not match it. Okay, forget the district, you'll just look for the specific village. You have the name, it must be somewhere. Nope, not a single village is labeled on Google Maps within the entire area of your search. What now? This exact scenario has happened to me a few times. If you're attempting to geolocate videos or photos in very remote areas of developing countries, you'll struggle with the lack of labeling. I wanted to show you how it can still be done just with a few extra steps. The video. On December 18, 2022, Amaj, an Afghan news agency, published a video on Twitter claiming that the Taliban whipped 3 women and 3 men in Kapisa, a province in the northeast of the country. The footage showed a large group of Afghan men in front of a building, probably in Kapisa. No public punishments were visible in the video, but I was curious about the location. From watching the 21-second footage, I can tell that's near a mountain, which would be useful if Afghanistan was made out of mountains. The building featured on the video had an interesting shape, with a bit of a curve on one of the sides, but not many details visible. It will definitely be easy enough to verify from a satellite image, but first we need to find the correct place. That is the tricky part. Below you can see the video shared on Amaj's Twitter account. If by any chance it's removed, I have archived anyway. So you can play it, there's not much to it, to be fair, that's it, just a group of Afghan men and there is a building. And this building has some interesting shape, or at least I felt like it was interesting, because there's a bit of a curve on this side. See, there's a mountain, which again, not useful at all. And there is an interesting section there as well, and that's it. Video is done. That's all you get. So what now? Gathering more information. Unless you have a week to waste, the name of a province is simply not enough to geolocate this video. We need to find more information about this incident. As it was a recent event, I simply searched for the name of the province in Farsi, so this is it, Kapisa, on Twitter, and checked all the results containing media. I quickly found the tweet seen below. The image looked like a screenshot of the video we just watched, remember, right at the end. The person that shared it also claimed it was filmed in Kapisa and it was related to the whipping of people in public by the Taliban. However, this time, the tweet has some interesting information. It said the Taliban whipped 4 men and 2 women for various crimes in Shiwani market of Najarab district of Kapisa province, or at least that's what Google told me it was. The details on how many women and men were lashed were different, but we don't need to focus on that as we just want to know the location. Suddenly, we know that this was, allegedly, in the Shiwani market of Najarab district in the Kapisa province of Afghanistan. Brilliant, let's Google that. Finding the district. We can find the Afghan district of Kapisa without any issues by just typing the Farsi for Kapisa in Google Maps. Then we can start narrowing it down a bit. We can try to go with this word, which is Najarab, which gets corrected by Google Maps to Nijrab. Close enough, probably the same place. We can keep going. Below is a screenshot of the district of Nijrab according to Google Maps. So there it is. I simply search for Nijrab or Najarab and the word for Kapisa. You can see both of them there. Both words copy-pasted from the tweet, so I didn't try to translate it myself. I can assure you that no matter how much you zoom in the area marked below on the map, there's not a single village labeled other than what we can see. A quick scan revealed that Shiwani, the name of the village we're looking for, is simply not anywhere to be seen. What now? Do we just zoom in and go through the entire area until we find a building that could match the shape of the one we're looking for? That would only not be a waste of time, but also incredibly ineffective. I can already tell you that the village and the building I geolocated was not even located in the region marked above. I found the correct village over 20 kilometers to the west of the area that Google Maps claimed to be the Nizhrab district in Kapisa. So, finding the village or villages. So if the village was not found on Google Maps, how did I track it down? Just because it's not labeled on Google Maps does not mean it was not labeled somewhere else. If you're thinking about Yandex or Bing Maps, you're going the wrong direction. Who best to know the location of small villages in developing countries other than people whose job depends on it? Perhaps people and or groups that go to these countries and need to find a way to access these villages. Organizations that not only collect data but also map and label the locations and write detailed reports that can be easily found and accessed online. I'm talking about humanitarian relief non-governmental organization, and a huge thanks to all of their work. They're so helpful. I often use maps from the Humanitarian Response website to find the names of small villages in very rural areas of developing countries. This website, part of the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs, provides free and easily accessible reports on a variety of topics. For our specific geolocation, we want to access their maps/infographics of Afghanistan. For that, we can either select the Afghanistan option, as seen below on the left, or the maps/infographics option on the right. So if you click that website, which I just did, there it is. This is what you see. You can select Afghanistan here, or you can select the maps/infographics. Either way, you'll get there. For this tutorial, let's go with the maps/infographics option and then refine our search parameters to get all the available maps from the Kapisa province of Afghanistan as seen below. So there you go. This is what I did. There are only two files that match our criteria. One is entitled Kapisa Province District Atlas and the other Afghanistan Kapisa Province Reference Map. You can view them by simply clicking the download button. It will open the PDF file. You can zoom in quite a lot. It's amazing. Below is a screenshot of how to find the document I used to geolocate the building in the video with the alleged lashings in Kapisa. At the search bar, here it is, at the top, I simply wrote Kapisa in English, and then downloaded the second document on the list. It was this one. It was published in 2014, but it's still extremely useful. Both documents contain the name and location of all the villages in this region, and because it is in PDF format, you can zoom in quite a lot without losing image quality. I have mine open here, and you can see this is the original file. This is how you get when you open it. By default, the size is at 36%, so it's quite tiny, and I'm going to just add a 0 here. It's going to get absolutely massive. But look at that, you can see all the small villages, they're everywhere, everything is mapped, it's absolutely amazing. And let's go back. I have chosen to work with the Kapisa Province Reference Map document because you can see the topography of the area, which will be extremely useful to us in a bit. If you zoom around a bit, you will quickly spot a large word saying Nizhrab, then a smaller word also saying Nizhrab, and an even smaller word saying Nizhrab. At this point, I just want to say welcome to geolocating data in Afghanistan. If you ever bored of easy geolocation challenges online, try to find something in Afghanistan. You'll never be bored again. It's in a whole new level of difficulty. Okay, let's examine our map then. At first glance, I would guess that the big Nizhrab is the name of the district. The medium-sized Nizhrab is a large city and the small Nizhrab is the village. I hope my screenshot is clear, so this is a magnified version of this tiny bit there. As the names of locations in Afghanistan are translated phonetically, it's very common for them to have different spellings. This, unfortunately, just makes the job harder and more exciting. You may remember that, according to the tweet we found earlier, we're looking for a village named Sherwani within the Najarab/Nizhrab district of Kapisa province of Afghanistan. By scrolling around the areas shown above, we can easily spot two areas that could be our village, as seen below. The reference map claims there's a village called Sherwani Payan and another one further north called Sherwani Bala, both names quite similar to Sherwani. They're also within the Nizhrab region, so there are very high chances one of them could be our location. The PDF document, unfortunately, does not provide satellite imagery. Wouldn't that be nice? So at this point, we need to jump back into Google Maps or Google Earth Pro to find the building within the village. The problem is now locating the village since, as you may remember, this area is not labeled on Google Maps at all. But that does not mean we cannot triangulate its location based on the topography of the area. If you jump into Google Maps and choose to display the terrain layer, you'll be able to see the elevation and topography of the region. Using that information alongside the roads seen in the dashed lines in our reference map, we can quickly figure out where our villages are probably located. The map below illustrates how I triangulated and narrowed down my area of search fairly quickly. So on the left, this is the PDF we have been looking at. This was the one I got from the Humanitarian Response website. And on the right, it's the Google Maps with the terrain layer on, so you can see also the topography, so we can compare it easily. Highlighted in red here and here, you can see the road split. So see, there's a road split there, and it's also visible there. In green and dark blue, you can see the shape of the mountains similar in both maps. So you can see here, look at that, there's goes like an E almost, like goes there and exactly there, look at that. And then if you follow the ridge of the mountain, it goes there a bit east suddenly, and it's the same there, and suddenly goes east. So this peak here is this peak here. Using that information, I figured out that the Sherwani Payan village was just north of the mountains highlighted in dark blue. So you can see here it's named, but it's not named here, but if we triangulate it, we'll know it will be more or less here. Whilst the Sherwani Bala village was just east of the mountains highlighted in dark green. So you see again, you just follow the path, and this is more or less where it should be. If you can read Farsi, you may have noticed that the school in the middle of our Google Maps screenshot, which is there, right there, with a temporary closed sign, it's there, it's very faint, but you can see it. It's called Kalagani Girls High School, or at least that's what Google translates it to. This would indicate that the location of the Kalagani village, also seen in our reference map, is around there. Its location is a bit off from map to map, so I chose to base my search around the mountain range, as it is less likely to be wrong, because they don't often move today. Anyway, so finding the building. Once we have a limited area of search, we can switch to Google Earth Pro and scan one of the villages. We're looking for a long building near some mountains, as if there's a shortage of them. We know that on one side of the building there's a small tower similar to a castle's turret, and on the other side of the building has a bit of an angle. It should be easy enough to spot on satellite imagery, and it was. I started around the area that I identified as Sherwani Bala, the northern of the two villages. So this one here, so the top one that was located more or less there. I entered the coordinates on Google Earth Pro and changed the historical view to September 2018, as the other options did not provide an image clear enough. So again, what I did is that I got here, I right click on this map to get the coordinates, copy pasted the coordinates, got to Google Earth Pro, pasted the coordinates, and looked at the village. Once I was on the village, I checked which was the best satellite imagery available, and the 2018 was pretty good, so I stayed with that one. And then I just had to look for a building with the similar features that I had memorized from the video. Below you can see how easy it was to spot the building, which you can see here with an arrow pointing at it. Look at that. Verifying the location. Now that we have found our building, it's time to match all the details. For that, we'll compare the video where the Taliban were allegedly lashing people and the satellite imagery from Google Earth Pro captured in September 2018. Below you can see how all the details match. These three pictures are all from the video we saw. This one, the right side of the building, this one, the center, and this one, the left. Highlighted in orange on the right, you can see the little turret at the end of the building. Highlighted in green is the tall tree behind the building, love trees, and the dark blue line highlights the unusual shape of the building. And here you go, you can see how there's an angle and then it goes on a curve, same here, angle and a curve. The image above therefore confirms that the video was recorded in the Sherwani Bala village, Nejrab district of Kapisa province in Afghanistan, and the coordinates of the location were these ones. Conclusion. There are numerous open source tools that can help you navigate maps and find semi-isolated and unlabeled areas of the globe. Humanitarian relief non-governmental organizations do an amazing job going to developing countries, collecting data and mapping locations. Websites like the Humanitarian Response have a wealth of resources and data shared for free to all who want to access it. Sometimes you just need to know where to look for information. I hope this tutorial was helpful if you ever need to geolocate something in the middle of nowhere and Google Maps has no idea how to help you. Thank you for listening. Sofia.